13 minutes, we'll transition to Trey Lance and whether it's a good idea for Kyle Shanahan to play him and the starters for the entire first half of the last preseason game against the Texans, where we all know that turf in Houston is not kind to a lot of ACLs and a lot of knees. Is it a good idea? We'll get into that at 7:30, but that'll be after we give away a gift card to Kirby. And you've been hyping up Kirby, Shasky. Let the people know what Kirby's all about.
Well, in this era of delivery services via the phone coming right to your front door, how many of us are sick and tired of trying to coordinate with our mechanic? Can I bring it in on Thursday? Can I bring it in on Friday? Okay, I'll drop it off and I'll have my wife come and pick me up and take me back to the house. And then 3 days later, I'll come back and get my car. No. Take a deep breath.
Yeah,
you can go on Kirby.com and you can have the mechanic come to your driveway.
That's pretty cool.
It's super easy, super simple, no hassles, no lies.
So what do they do in the driveway? What do they do in the driveway?
Anything you need. You need a tune-up. I got the check engine light right now on my wife's car.
Yeah.
Kirby is coming to our driveway and going to find out what's going on with the car. There's no stress. There's no worry. There's no nothing. So as my wife can do her work from home stuff, the car just sits in the driveway. They come to her. She doesn't even have to go outside. It's super simple.
What if I need an oil change?
They've got that.
What if I need a tire change?
Oil change.
Really?
Anything.
A jump? What if my battery's dead?
Yeah, of course.
Wow. That's pretty cool. Check out Kirby.com. That's CURBEE.com or call 1-866-CURBEE1. Caller number 5. Caller number 5. In 11 minutes, I'll give out the number. In 11 minutes, we're going to give out a gift card to Kirby. This sounds like a cool service.
You know how sitcoms usually do like callbacks or like a movie or a show will do a callback to something that happened in prior times? What's great about Kirby is they actually sent Bonte Hill a jumpsuit that he wore last week.
The Ghostbusters fit? People love that one. A lot of ratings. A lot of Ghostbuster talk.
There were 250 comments on that tweet.
That's pretty good. That's next level.
Come on, you were feeling it.
Hey, man, you know, you boys are content creators. You see that, Matt Negan? We get numbers, baby. Not to mention Instagram, where everybody, hey, man, who you going to call? You know how many times I read that line? who you going to call? Ghostbusters! You know? That's all I heard, but it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Who are you going to call? Farhan!
Well, here's Farhan on the disappointing and frustrating season again. We'll transition to Trey Lance in about 10 minutes after we give away a gift card to Kirby. Jose in Oakland will get to you in just a second. By the way, 415 Comcast Business Sex Line. We're some suckers did not talk about the Killers concert last night. It felt like everybody was at the Killers concert.
Oh, yeah. Well, the Killers are awesome.
Yeah, I seen Bimbo Jimbo, James Kincaid, Joe Spadoni, and Jade was out there. Matt Nahiga, of course, posted. You know, he posted. David Bruce was out there. Justin Hathaway from NBC.
Oh, wow.
I've seen everybody at the Killers concert.
So it sounds like a lot of corporate tickets and not a lot of money being spent by some of the people we know.
You said that, not me.
One more thing. Dave Johnson is curious, can Kirby show up to 3rd and King and jumpstart the paltry lineup in San Francisco?
You know what? Where's the applause button?
That's pretty funny.
That's you know what? You know, applause.
Speaking of
that one it deserves that.
Everyone has a podcast, and TK has a podcast where he had Farhan on. And
he has everybody on.
Well, yeah, he's doing a really good job.
Man.
He's disrupting the Kyle Shanahan podium talk, and he's interviewing Farhan. But what I know
is anyway a backup scenario if someone gets hurt, could he be on this team?
I mean, I think any scenario is possible.
Okay. Yeah, I know you and the look back. You're obsessed with
Shanahan, dude. I'm obsessed with Shanahan.
We'll get to the Niners in a second.
I love Shanahan.
Farhan acknowledging the entertainment portion of it was really interesting to me. And I want to play the Farhan cut first, and then I want to play a sound from Peter Guber that you and I spoke about earlier this year before we even got down this road with the San Francisco Giants.
Here's Farhan. First, I'll start with this. I'll play back-to-back cuts here. On the Giants having stars, and then I'll follow it up with what makes them compelling. Then we'll go to Jose in Oakland and get his thoughts.
This notion of, hey, you know, you want a young fan of yours to be able to go to the team store and buy a jersey and know that, you know, they can go to the park wearing that jersey for the next several years and feel like that's their guy. I think there's a lot to that. Now, you know, people aren't going to come to watch a team that isn't competitive, so you have to balance all of that. I think these things are all part of creating a compelling product, is having a good competitive team that's playing important games. And again, having the type of players young fans and older fans want to go to the team store and buy their jersey and root them on. And again, I feel like we do have those players on this team, and some of them just haven't had great years.
And here's what Farhan had to say about what makes it compelling. Before I do that, what's the face for, Shasky? I got to.
Who's on the team right now like now, Chessa? What T-shirt jersey do you have to get her if she's a Giants fan?
Well, let me say, we went to the game this year and we bought another Buster Posey shirt because there's nobody else.
Which reminds me of the 2016-17 Niners,
right,
where you're like, Joe Montana or Brian Hoyer.
Hold on.
I'm going to go to Joe Montana jersey.
Steve Young or Jeremy Curley.
Exactly.
Torrey Smith or John Taylor.
But it's as if, and I kind of get a little frustrated with the Farhan thing. It's as if he just found out, there's a business thing attached to this?
Well,
this is a television show?
Well, I go back to his introductory presser where he said, I remember going to school at Cal, and I remember walking down the street, down 3rd Street with my buddies going to the game, and the buzz and the vibe going to Oracle Park. And it's like, well, if you knew that, and you saw the panda hats, and you saw the giraffe hats, or even if it's Barry Bonds and Rich Arroyo and Jeff Kent, and you saw all this stuff happening, how can you be late to the party on this? But here's what Farhan had to say to follow up on that, on what makes a compelling team.
That's all part of building a compelling product, which I acknowledge, and I think anybody working in professional sports has to acknowledge that, you're trying to entertain. This isn't just about putting a competitive team out there. But again, we come back to the circular point that, at the crux of it is being a good team, playing important games, because, I don't think there's ever been a really compelling losing team or last place team in the history of professional sports. So it all goes hand in hand.
I don't know about that.
Lakers this year, they were a loser. Yeah, they were pretty compelling.
Yeah, I don't know about compelling teams. You have some losing teams that are compelling, right?
Yeah.
The Jets are always compelling because they stink, but they're compelling. There's a lot of compelling losing teams. I don't know about that one, Farhan. And two,
but I get what he's saying.
I understand what he's saying, but his philosophy, his brand of baseball, it's not compelling. Watching the Giants every single day is not compelling. Their brand of baseball, especially offensively, it's not compelling.
Or defensively,
shifting out of outs, not compelling. The way they operate with their bullpen and pitch hitting, that's not compelling.
Their base running is not compelling.
No, not at all. The way you platoon is not compelling. And by the way, I know 925, we didn't even get to this because it drives us crazy. Comcast Business Text Line 925. We saw the San Fran shirts being sold in the dugout store. We saw that. And it's laughable. The Giants look desperate right now when it comes to marketing their team. They know. They tried to put names on the back of the jerseys. They ruined the cream jerseys. Now that we're here. And I'm going to let you talk, Shasky. Now that we're here, because it was anti-names on the back of the cream jerseys. You had something special. You were in the same stratosphere when it came to the Yankees and the Red Sox having no names on the home jerseys. It looked sweet. It was so sweet. But your excuse for putting names on the back of the jersey was, well, the fans need to know who these players are. We don't know anybody. You have a bunch of no names. Well, you still have a bunch of no names, and nobody's buying these jerseys. Nobody's buying them. We're still saying, wait, who is that? Wait, Kirk Casale? Wait, Austin Wins? Who the hell is that? You can have Wins in 24-point font, and we still won't know who he is. So you're ruining the cream jerseys, and then you're selling San Fran shirts. So you're not compelling when it comes to marketing, when it comes to selling jerseys, when it comes to the product on the field. Nothing's compelling about the Giants. All right. You go on.
I find it to be a very interesting pivot from Farhan because I've never, and again, maybe I'm missing the boat on this, but I've never heard him acknowledge the entertainment factor, the fascination factor, the compelling factor.
So who is that on? Is that Larry Bear getting into Farhan's ear? Is that the ownership group getting on Farhan's ear? Because we see empty seats.
No doubt. Well, I mean, you could say that I believe in Farhan long term. I feel like the fans have pretty much told you they're rejecting the majority of what they're seeing.
What is it going to take to start believing in Farhan again?
Think about this. Like last year, they were coming out of a pandemic, so it's tough to gauge. But we didn't really tap in until late September.
Yeah.
Even then, like, we didn't even believe in the Giants until the very end.
Right.
And then playoffs time, hey, we're there. Hey, playoffs, we're here. We'll pack this son of a gun. But so, and it's tough to gauge because you were coming out of the pandemic, so I don't want to be too critical there. But I just find it interesting that you and I played a cut, and I want to play it right now, from Peter Guber, who is one of the ownership members of Lakeup's group that owns the Warriors. He was on with Colin Cowherd, and I pulled this cut and I brought it to the table, and I thought it was so spot on then, and we talked about it and we correlated it to the three teams, and I find it interesting because it feels like 3 months later, 2 months later, clearly someone has brought what Peter Guber has said to Farhan, and it finally resonated. So here's Guber talking about entertainment and sports.
Somehow you understand that process of connection as a leader. I think it's important. I think people running sports businesses must understand that they are in the entertainment business. If they don't think they're in the entertainment business, that's called stupid. They have to be in the entertainment business. They're aiming at people's hearts, not their heads first, their hearts. They're trying to make that audience, that sports people, invested in the experience, invested in the outcome, and they're trying to make them participants, not passengers.
And you know what? It's so spot on when Peter Guber saying we're trying to tug at the hearts.
Yes.
Not the head. Think about baseball. The hearts. When we go through a season, 162 in the playoffs.
It's a companion all summer.
Exactly.
But have you felt like they've been a companion this summer?
No, not even close.
With your good friend, Marty, it's a mosaic.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
This year has felt more like a dumpster fire.
Yep.
And
you know what? I don't even think Farhan Zaidi, maybe he heard Peter Guber.
You don't think that he did?
Even if he didn't. Say if he didn't.
Okay.
All you have to do is walk 4 blocks down the street
Yes,
to
that's
Chase
true.
Center
That's
and
true.
say, oh, damn, dumpling time, gots, big screen, watch parties. I go inside. Like when Larry Bear went to one of those playoff games at Chase Center, and I looked at him. He looked around and said,
"Did you give him the Palo Banchero?
I didn't give him the Palo Banchero.
Yeah, hit
I
your
didn't give him the
chest.
hit.
Okay.
I didn't give him the
so
hit
you
the
looked
chest.
at Larry Bear in Chase
Palo
Center.
did that to us, Half-Life and I. He looked like this, and we gave it to him back. We're like, that's our guy. We rock with you, Pablo. But Larry Bear looked around. He saw the big scoreboard. He heard DJ D Sharp on the beats, and he said, "Oh my God, it's a party in here! And this is a playoff game. I missed this."
Yeah.
Larry Bear, you can see it in his eyes. He's like, "I missed this."
But to be fair, they did have that atmosphere in game 1, 2, and 5. I went to 3 of those games.
Game 5 was dead though because they didn't score.
Well, they didn't score any runs, and that's the byproduct of not having offense and a tight playoff elimination game. But would you grant me game 1 and 2 were off the hook?
Game 1,
even though they lost game 2.
Game 1 was off the chain.
Yes,
game 1 was off. He had Fred Warner and them in the building.
When Buster hit that home run in the first inning,
it was electric.
The top was ready to come off.
It was electric. We had a great time after game 1.
But no doubt. And I know we want to transition into the Niners in just a second. But
and we'll get the Kirby contest in a second as well.
The one thing you talked about, and Farhan acknowledged it, compelling players.
Right.
Right now, we're going through the Jimmy Garoppolo, Trey Lance thing. And there are so many people, which is fair, who are emotionally attached to Jimmy Garoppolo and do not want the team to give him up because they've gone on a journey with this guy. And even though he's not the greatest player in the league, they feel a sentimental attachment and they appreciate what he brings to the table.
Give me this. Jimmy has been compelling, right?
No question.
The Jimmy Garoppolo era has been compelling.
95.7 The Game has done millions of hours
Trust me.
on Jimmy G.
Trust me. I was here when the first promo read about Jimmy Garoppolo when he got traded.
My drop. I want to go back to the playoffs. What do you think that started with?
My old co-host, and we're going to give out the Kirby gift card in just a second. Stay patient. I remember my old co-host, Greg Poppin. I was arguing with him on the football hour with Low Deal, and they're like, "You could just sit, Jimmy. You see what you have in practice." I said, "Greg, you have to play this guy right now." And I'll never forget being at Levi's on those final 2 plays when I rushed out of the restroom to say, "What the hell is going on? We're getting blown out." And Jimmy comes in for those final 2 plays and throws a touchdown. I got to give you the details.
Running out of the
I'm telling you because it was that season was dead.
What's going on? What did I miss?
I hear the crowd roar.
Toilet paper hanging out of your sweats.
Dude, that wasn't I'm not going to lie to you. That wasn't a full wipe, all right? I run out of there.
An awful lot of information,
right? Thank you, Steven.
And Garoppolo throws a touchdown, and the crowd's going crazy. And I'll never forget the next day, Papa, the time is now to play him. You have to play him now. I've been saying this for 3 weeks, damn it. So the whole Jimmy Garoppolo era, I've been to both ends of the roller coaster, man. I'm tired of it,
so
but he's been compelling.
Yeah, no doubt.
That's the whole point. Let's get out this Kirby gift card real quick.
I don't want to get into Trey Lance because he is very compelling, and I'm excited.
So caller number 5 right now. Caller number 5. 415-951-2386. You will win a Kirby gift card. 415-951-2386 or Kirby gift card. The caller number 5 is coming your way. Kirby is your driveway mechanic. We bring the shop to you. Brakes, tires, oil changes, and much, much more. Get $50 off your first oil change with the code OIL50. Check out Kirby.com. That's CURBEE.com or call 1-866-CURBEE1. Let's get Jose in Oakland real quick before we transition to Trey Lance and whether or not he should play in the first half of that game against the Houston Texans. Jose, what's happening? Good morning. You're on the roast.
Good morning, guys. Just 3 quick points. I'll make it as quick as possible. I've heard on the comments from Farhan something about, it's not always about just putting a competitive team. You know what? It should be 100% of the time about putting a competitive team. If you put a team that is competitive, that's what makes the team compelling. If I just wanted to be entertained, I would follow a minor league team. I'd be entertained, and I wouldn't care whether they win or lose. I was being entertained. As far as, him bringing up what the Dodgers are doing right, obviously, you stink at drafting players. You stink at developing players. You don't even want to do the spending part. So why are you even bringing the Dodgers? I think when the Giants brought in Farhan, they saw the Dodgers painting the 16th chapel and figured, let's bring Leonardo da Vinci. Wait a minute, he's under contract. Okay, you see that guy over there holding the ladder and passing the palette? Let's bring that guy in. Maybe he can paint just as good as Leonardo da Vinci. The guy stinks. They got the wrong guy. Honestly, I think they got the wrong guy.
Oh, man. Jose in Oakland.
You and I have had conversations off air, and this is the private show brought to the air. And by the way, Sarah and Vinny do the secret show here at Odyssey Station.
This is a private show.
And you can get it on the AUDACY Odyssey app. I think we should have a podcast right after our show called, and we add it to our feed where you can subscribe. You can already subscribe to the Morning Roast, but we call it the private show. I'm going to bring a snippet of the private show onto air.
I'm scared about. I'm nervous, but go
if
ahead.
we played the game, Joe, your life's on the line. Which I hate this game, but I'm doing this game.
I don't like the game. I don't like this. I don't like where it's going.
I'm so out on Farhan, and I've been out on Farhan. This whole philosophy of how to run your team, your organization. To me, this is a guy who doesn't know how to read the room. So that's just me.
So off air, we were just talking, and I think other GMs around baseball are laughing at the Giants. Number one, the Giants went out there, and I knew this was going to bite them in the ass. I knew this was going to bite them in the ass when they were out there high-siding in Washington, D.C. That was out there show-stopping, right? Stunting and Ghost riding the whip saying, you got to play full 9 innings against us. We're going to continue to run the bases hard. We're going to continue to play hard and swing the bat. When they had Dubon and them stealing bases up 7-1 and 8-1, I knew that was going to bite them in the ass. Everybody in baseball is going to store that quote saying, these guys think they're the smartest thing on the block.
Yeah.
They think their stuff don't stink. Another thing, everybody crowned Farhan. Last year, I got so sick of seeing people tweet and talk about, credit for Farhan Zadi. Giants won 107 games. We just dismissed the manager. Okay, that's fine. You want to do that? Do that. But you don't think the guy from St. Louis running the club, I forget his name. He's been running that club for years. And he's thinking, Farhan Zadi, the smartest guy in baseball? I've been running the Cardinals, and we've been in contention for years. You don't think Andrew Friedman of the Dodgers, Shasky, was there first. He orchestrated the Tampa Bay Rays. That model built them into a winner. All right, a winner. You don't think he's sitting there thinking, they think Farhan was running the Dodgers. Watch this. Hold my beer. You don't think Brian Cashman is sitting there saying, I've been in with the New York Yankees since the mid-'90s, and all of a sudden you're going to crown this guy? This guy? Billy Beane is probably thinking the same thing. Baseball's up to Farhan, and they're saying, you know what? Let's stick it to this guy. He thinks he reinvented baseball. Watch this. Jose in Oakland's out on Farhan. You're out on Farhan. I think the pressure needs to be added up on Farhan. We need to ratchet that bad boy up on Farhan Zadi because what I see right now and what I'm hearing, this team's not going to be competitive until 2024, 25.
I just kind of live my life this way. Like, I got to see it before I can start to believe it. Now, I contradict myself when it comes to my religious choices because I've never seen Jesus, but yet I believe in it, right? And so I freely admit I contradict myself in certain areas. But when it comes to sports, you got to kind of prove it to me. I'm a big believer in equity and earned arrogance, and you have to earn the benefit of the doubt.
I'm glad you brought that up, equity. Didn't it feel like Farhan lost a little equity when he hired Kapler after everything that happened in L.A.? It felt like from then he was climbing uphill, right?
I was so desperate to just win again as a Giants fan, and I was kind of ready to like try something new.
Gotcha.
I do believe in life cycles. Like the game's at some point going to pass Belichick by. He's great. Everyone agrees, right? Sabian was great. The game, evolves, and he had been in the job for a long, long time. So I am a believer in, cycling out of someone, even if they are great at what they do, right? Some guys are lifers. I get that. But, I was ready for a change. It wasn't my first hire for a manager, and my thing was and I said it in real time, I was so mad that Rigetti got pushed out the door.
Yeah, that was
Remember
weak.
how mad I was?
That was weak, though.
I was really mad. Weak. In my estimation, someone like Rigetti, who had the resume that he had, and I don't know the inner workings, and maybe he wanted to go. I just thought a guy like him deserved to go out on his own terms. Yep. And the same way I felt about Bruce Bochy. Bochy deserved to go out in any way that he wanted to go. Just my estimation.
Right.
And I look at it, and I look at Giants fans and what they're accustomed to. If I was going to build a store or create a show, I have to know what my audience wants. Right?
Our audience doesn't want Giants baseball right now.
But what does the Giant audience want?
Yeah.
They want old school baseball.
They want old school baseball. They want a slugger.
No, they want to win. Of course they want to win.
But they're tired of the platooning.
I know.
You're platooning your best hitters. I mean, Jock Peterson one day may be batting leadoff. The next day he's batting sixth. Yes. How many times have we seen him in a leadoff spot or 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? Brendan, it's not a compelling brand of baseball. And I hate to bring up Willard because Willard's going to come in here and say, hey, guys, you know how it is. But when they were playing the Braves and they were 9 games over 500, and what did I look you? I looked you dead in the eyes. I said, this team's not compelling. I don't care what they're doing. This is not a fun brand of baseball.
He did.
And they started struggling. But the Giants they got a little cocky. Let's be real. They got a little cocky. They won 107 games, and they started talking about running up the score on teams. And what did I say from day one? I said, I don't like this. I don't like it. Just play. You don't need to fall into that trap. And now you're 61-61. Now you're 61-61. You did it to yourself.
Yeah.
And now the fan base is out on Farhan. How quickly are they? We know how this fan base works in the Bay Area. Bob Myers is on the hot seat.
Well,
after winning 3 championships, according to the fan base.
Vontae, Trent Baalke won Executive of the Year. Say that in a sentence. Trent Baalke won Executive of the Year. In 3 years, we crowned him one of the worst GMs in the history of Bay Area sports.
No doubt.
Things can turn quick.
So look, 5-1-0. You guys are so freaking spoiled. A 107-win season isn't enough for you. Teams have great years followed by bad years all the time. Lots of teams go decades without a great year.
They've been bad 4 out of the last 5 years, though.
And it's about to be 5 out of 6.
Yeah, you can't just say that they had a great year last year. It's about being consistently bad.
And the 1 year you won, it looks like a fluke.
Well, that I'll push back with, but I don't want to get down the argument. Outlier, do guys, play better than what their baseball card is? Yeah, all those things are true. Fluke is a word I don't like because that makes it seem like it's not real. It was real.
It was real, but it looks like a fluke of the season. It looks like...
You know what I'm saying? I hate hearing that.
I don't like hearing it either. But you win 107, now you're 61-61. And people are talking about 2023. How bad is 2023 going to be? Rodon may walk. You have Logan Webb. What? How bad is 2023 going to be?
J.D. Davis, everybody.
Oh, man.